Is the internal rift in Israel a good time to confront the Zionist entity, as Israel's enemy call it? Those enemies seem to have contradicting opinions. It is probably not just a coincidence Hezbollah is choosing this time to raise the bar of its provocations along the border. But while things are heating up in the north, at least for now, it's almost complete quiet in the south. This is also not just a coincidence. An Iranian diplomat was quoted saying Iranian and Hamas officials decided not to use this opportunity, saying it will give Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu an excuse for a major operation in Gaza in order to distract the attention from the internal rift. Netanyahu had this message for Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, and all other enemies closely watching.
I know that you don't understand what it's like in a democracy. Don't count on our internal argument. As always, we will stand shoulder to shoulder to defend our beloved country in the face of every threat.
At least for now, these calls seem to be clearly heard, at least in Gaza.
So is this divisive political situation putting Israel in danger? To talk about that, I'm joined here in the studio by Amir Oren. He's a defence and government commentator. Good evening to you.
Thank you.
And with us on the line, Dr. Jacques Neria is a former deputy head of assessment for the Israeli military intelligence. Great to see you as well, Jacques. Thank you for being with us. So, Amir, I'll come to you first. Is what's happening in Israel right now, particularly the refusal by reservists to serve, putting Israel in danger?
Yes, it does. However, there is no linear way to outline it, because on the eve of the Yom Kippur War in 1973, Israel ostensibly was at the height of its power. The people were united, the government of Golda Meir and Moshe Dayan looked invincible, and all of a sudden the Egyptians and Syrians struck. On the other hand, in 1967, the Eshkol government seemed on the verge of collapse, and then too, Nasser, the Egyptian leader, hesitated, and eventually Israel struck first. So yes, the Israeli domestic situation seems to be inviting an attack. However, the Arabs, and Jacques Neria is much more of an expert than I am, having come from Lebanon and gone up through the ranks in the Israeli military, the Arabs sometimes believe that there is a huge mu'amara, a conspiracy, that it only looks as if the Israelis are divided in order to entice the enemies to strike, only to find out that it was only a big trap. So it works both ways, but it is not good for the Israeli military to have this problem, because day by day, week by week, it will get weaker.